Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I feel like it has really been a minute, so I wanted to sit down and do my makeup and just kind of play and create a look and just kind of chit chat with you guys a little bit. So I felt like using the Soft Glam palette from Anastasia because I haven't used it on my channel and it is one of my favorites. So I'm going to just kind of play and create a look, and I'll kind of explain the look as I'm going, but I might skip some steps just to you know, chat as we go along. So yes, let's jump right in. I am filming in a new room, as you can tell. Basically in my house I have 2 extra bedrooms, and I had converted one of them into my makeup studio, and I'd converted the smaller of the 2 rooms. But now that I'm doing YouTube and I have filming equipment and stuff, it was feeling a little bit cramped in that room. And so I was telling my husband that I wanted to move over to this bigger of the 2 rooms. This is just how sweet my husband is, but I was telling him that I wanted more space, and I also thought it would be nice to, rather than having those closet doors behind me that I had in the other room, to have a blank wall so that I can have, you know, decor and stuff back there and just have a little bit of a better setup. And I was just kind of thinking, like, you know, whenever we got around to it, we might do that, not urgent or whatever. And he's so sweet. Literally the other day while I was taking a nap, he just moved everything over. So now I'm in this new room and it is much better. There's more space, and I'm still kind of getting everything set up back there and all around, but it's good. Tell me your guys' opinion about backgrounds, because when I watch other videos, other makeup tutorials and things, I like the homey background. You know, I like having decor and stuff in the back and feeling like you are at somebody's home. I prefer that over, you know, a flat backdrop. Although the flat backdrops do look really nice, and I might get some of those and kind of switch it up from time to time. But tell me what your guys' preference is. What do you think as far as backgrounds go? So I'm kind of feeling something smoky and golden as far as eyeshadow goes, but I'm just going to kind of play and create as I go, and I'll just show you the shades that I'm using. And I really do love this palette. It is amazing quality, just like the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette that I've talked about on my channel. They are, I'd say that they're like in the same place as far as quality, and I honestly reach for both of them all the time. If I had to choose a favorite, I think I would choose the Modern Renaissance, just because that one is just so, I've just used it so much and it's so perfect. But this one really is amazing. Like, look how pretty those colors are. You can create such pretty looks with it. I've used Burnt Orange and Rustic so far from the palette, and now I'm gonna dip into Mulberry, which is such a pretty, like, deep kind of burgundy shade. Speaking of backgrounds, just looking in the viewfinder at this background, I can tell that I want to set up some sort of a lighting on my background, because it looks, as far as just looking in the viewfinder, it just looks very like dark back there on everything. So I think that's something that I'll put in. I really want to make my videos the best that I can. I really want to make them the best quality I can, the best setup I can, and I'm so open to like any suggestions that you guys have. I honestly have no clue what I'm doing. Like, before I started my channel, I'd never filmed a video before. I'd never even done like pictures on a camera before, or really anything. Like, I didn't know about how to edit a video, nothing. But I honestly am proud of myself for doing it, because I've wanted to do a channel for so many years. So much of why I held myself back was because of the stage I'm in right now. The beginning stage where I don't really know what I'm doing and I'm just kind of figuring it out as I go. And I was so scared of that. I was just like, oh, it's gonna just not be great quality, and it's gonna be obvious that I don't really know what I'm doing, and you know, it might be kind of cringy to watch at first as I'm figuring it all out. But I'm like, you know what? Everybody has to go through that. Nobody is just automatically like so amazing at filming videos. Well, maybe some people are, but I'm not. And I don't think that most people are just automatically amazing like that. So I'm proud of myself that I'm just facing what I was afraid of. I'm just going through it. It's okay that everything's not perfect right now, but I do feel like I'm, you know, improving at least a little bit with each video for the most part, and I'm not gonna give up, so I'll just keep going with it. Now I'm using Cypress Umber, this deep brown. This shade is also in the Modern Renaissance palette, and it is such a nice matte deep brown. Something I did want to chat with you guys just a little bit about is the whole Jaclyn Cosmetics fiasco that's been going on, and just kind of my thoughts on it. And I hate to be like negative, but I did make a whole video on it, and so I kind of wanted to address it. That video is taken down now, but I talked about it a little bit on my Instagram. But basically what happened is I got my lipsticks. I ordered 3 lipsticks in the mail, and I made a first impressions video on the 3 lipsticks, and I really loved them. They applied really beautifully. I really loved the colors, and I was impressed, and I didn't have any issues. And I started seeing other people's reviews and some pretty scary things, which I'm sure you have heard about all of it by now. But if you haven't heard about it, basically people were finding issues with the lipsticks. People were finding hairs and fuzzies and lint in the lipsticks. People were having issues with the texture being really gritty and grainy and just not smooth. And just things like that, just inconsistencies, just things that you really shouldn't be seeing with a brand new tube of lipstick. Especially the whole lint and fuzzies thing. That's the thing that really gets me, as just like, no. And so I watched a lot of people's videos. I watched, people looking at the lipstick under microscopes and things like that. And I started to feel very concerned because it really was looking like mold or something like that. And Jaclyn Hill, the creator of the whole brand, she had said that she's been working on this brand and on this product for years and years and years. And so a lot of people were kind of wondering, like, were these lipsticks made years ago and they've been sitting on shelves, and now she's releasing them and really they're like not safe to use and they're not okay. I'm gonna dip into Noor, this matte black shade. I'm just in a smoky mood for some reason, and I did eyes first so we can be messy and go really smoky. And so it was concerning, to say the least. And I went back and looked at my lipsticks, and they looked fine. I could see a little bit of kind of weird texture, not anything like chunky, but just kind of like weird little lines on the tip of the lipstick, like after I'd used it, but like nothing that I would have even noticed. And on one of my lipsticks, I did find one little fuzzy, but I just honestly was like, I don't know if that like somehow got on there when I used it, or if that was on there. Like, I probably wouldn't have noticed any of it with my actual lipsticks if I hadn't been looking for it. Like, mine really, they were fine. But just to be safe, I have not used them since, because I was like, well, these all came from the same place, and if they are contaminated or have mold or whatever, I'm obviously not going to use them. And I was just like, okay, let's wait and see how Jacqueline and her brand responds to all of this and just kind of see what the dealio is. Really quick, this is a little tip when you're blending out dark shadow. So I used a tiny little pencil brush to apply that black, and I want to blend it out more, but I don't want to bring it up any higher. So I'm taking the brush that I used before this one with no additional product to blend out those edges, because that is gonna blend and soften the black and like where the black meets the brown, but it's not gonna take the black higher. Now I am grabbing this shimmer right here called Bronze and applying that to the lid. Okay, back to the lipsticks. So basically, I'm just gonna say I really did not really like the way that Jacqueline and her team or whatever handled the whole situation. I've not been impressed by it, and you have to know that I have been a huge Jaclyn Hill fan for like 4 or 5 years now. Like, I've bought everything that she's ever collaborated on, and like I've just loved her, and like I was so excited to try her lipstick. So it's not like I was hoping she'd fail or like looking for her to mess up or anything like that. Like, I was so gung-ho about this, and I'm kind of questioning her, I will be honest. Basically, she made a video on her channel addressing everything, and the thing that really gets me is her explanation of the lint and fuzzies and hairs in the lipsticks, which, I mean, let's just take a second. Like, lint and fuzzies in a brand new tube of lipstick, and we're not just talking like on the surface. Like, people are finding these embedded in the lipstick, and like I saw videos where people were taking tweezers and like pulling out hairs that were like a couple inches long. Like, that is not okay. That's very, very disturbing, and that's not okay at all. Like, I don't understand like how that could have happened. But basically her explanation was that in the lab where these were being created, the workers, instead of using rubber gloves, they were using white cotton gloves to handle the product, and that it shed all over the product. And how the hairs got embedded in the product is that whatever like towels or rags were being used to clean the vats where the lipsticks were being mixed were shedding as well. That's not okay. Like, that's really gross. Like, and she was saying it's not gonna hurt you. It's you know, they are sanitary, like they just shed, you know, and she did say like you can still get a refund and everything. Like, she wasn't saying that it's like great, but I mean, like, that's really gross. I'm gonna mix Cypress Umber and Noir and just kind of pack that on the outside a little bit more. Anyways, I can't get past that whole explanation of the fuzzies. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me, why these workers would supposedly be wearing fuzzy white gloves that shed to handle lipstick in the first place. That just doesn't sit right with me. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. And like, I just don't really accept that answer. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make sense. And I just don't understand why they're still selling the product. Like, if I were her, I would be shutting down the whole thing and saying, you know, we need to redo this. And sorry, 1 second, it's hard to talk and do liner. She did say that they're gonna use a different lab now, and like, I think that she's trying to fix the issue, but I mean, okay, I'm just gonna go full-blown like nitpicking how she handled this, and again, I don't like to be like so negative, but I just thought it was interesting how you know, when she made this video, she like comes on her channel and she's sitting there like with no makeup on, wearing a sweatshirt, and like when she was talking about it, by the way, I'm using the Smashbox Photo Finish Pore Minimizing Primer, one of my favorites. Anyway, just the way that she was on that video, like she just, to me, she just seemed very like defensive, and it seemed like she was just placing the blame out of her control, and just, she just seemed really mad, honestly, which, I mean, obviously she would be mad, but it just didn't seem very professional. It's like, this is not just your YouTube channel, like this is your brand. Like, why are you just coming on here on a sweatshirt, in a sweatshirt, and just like freaking out? And I just thought it was odd. I'm using the Huda Beauty Faux Filter foundation, and I've been in a mood to use a brush to apply my foundation, which is really weird for me because I'm such a sponge girl, but I've just been like in a mood. So this is the e.l.f. foundation blurring brush, and I think it does a really nice job. So basically she came on, made that video. I think a few days later I did see that the brand like kind of released a statement like explaining that the lipsticks were safe, and like here's why everything was the way that it was, but like you can get a refund, but it's fine, but everything's safe. And I don't know, I just think that the whole thing is really weird, and she prided herself in how long and hard she'd worked on this brand, that she'd been working on it for 5 years, and everybody kept saying, well, when are you going to release your brand? What, you know, where is it? And she's like, I just have to get it so perfect. I'm just such a perfectionist, and I just want it to be so amazing. And then it's like horrible. And it just seems to me like she, was like working on this brand for so long, developing cute packaging and getting the colors perfect and everything, and like developing what was supposed to be, you know, a nice formula. I mean, it is a nice formula, it's just got chunks and hairs and stuff throughout it. And it just kind of seems like at the last minute she's like, yeah, let's go ahead and launch it, and just totally rushed into mass producing it and made huge mistakes and totally overlooked things. And then like obviously now it's really embarrassing, and I don't know, I just think that the whole thing was really odd, and I feel weird about it, and I just don't feel good about like encouraging anybody to go out and buy it. I don't feel like I trust her brand right now, which again, it's really sad because like I have loved Jaclyn for a long time, but I just don't really respect how she's handled everything. I'm hoping that they'll be able to fix it, because I genuinely did love the lipsticks, and I did feel like I found my perfect nude. The color Amazeballs I felt like was my perfect nude, which that was her whole point, for people to be able to find their perfect nude. And so I hope that she can get it fixed. I hope that she can handle it in a better way, but that's my thoughts about all of that, and now we don't need to talk about it anymore. So do you guys prefer applying your foundation with a sponge or with a brush? I still prefer a sponge the best, but yesterday actually when I was doing my makeup, I was just like, I feel like using a brush, and it's kind of fun to switch it up sometimes. And I did actually get some more compliments than usual on my foundation yesterday, and like my sister-in-law was like, what did you do different with your foundation? Like, you look so smooth. And I was like, well, I used a brush, and I realized that the sides of my eyeshadow looks crazy right now, but I'm going to smooth that out and blend everything and connect it with my eyeshadow on the bottom in a little bit here. Let's fill in the brows. I am just feeling smoky today, so let's go really smoky on the bottom. I think a lot of people are scared to do really smoky eyeshadow on their bottom lash line. They're scared that it'll make them look crazy or look you know, like they have a black eye or something, but I promise you that it will not. It honestly looks so pretty. It ties the whole look together, like balances out with the eyeshadow on the top, and it can look so smoldering and just glamorous and gorgeous. So I totally dare you to try it out if you're scared to smoke out your eyeshadow on the bottom. So I did tightline my upper and lower lash line with some black liner. I'm going to go into Cypress Umber and Noir again and just kind of blend out that line where I applied it. I just love the way that eyeshadow palette blends out. It really is such a good one, you guys. It's like so versatile. You can do such everyday looks or like more smoky glam like this, and just all really pretty neutral colors. Okay, I'm gonna bronze up with the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Okay, I'm gonna say another thing about the Jaclyn Hill situation. I know I said I was done talking about it, but I do just want to say that I can't imagine what Jaclyn's going through right now. Like how, I mean, that is like, that's rough what she's dealing with, and that it would be a hard situation to deal with. So I mean, I hope that she can figure out the best way how to really handle the whole situation and move forward from it and learn from her mistakes. And I do love Jaclyn Hill. Like, I don't want to not like her anymore, but I do love Jaclyn, and I hope that she's able to work it out and figure out the best thing to do and how to like really handle this. Now I'm actually going to use Hoola bronzer to deepen up my bronze even a little bit more. I kind of like doing that sometimes, using a lighter bronzer or contour shade and then going into a darker one. And I mean, that's what we do with eyeshadow, right? Like, we very rarely just go in with one dark eyeshadow and blend it out. We usually blend and build up to it, and so, you know, why not do that with our contour and our bronzer as well, just to like create an even more blended, flawless look. So I just heard somebody walk in the door, and my husband's not supposed to get home from work for a little while, so I'm either about to get murdered or my husband came home early. I'm really hoping it's the latter. Or wait, no. Yes. I was like, wait, which one did I say first? I'm really hoping that it's my husband and that it's not a intruder. I'm gonna go check. Trying to find like a pair of scissors or something to take, just in case. It was my husband. Everything's fine. Now I'm going to contour my nose. I love contouring my nose. Like, when I discovered that I could do that a few years ago, it was like a very life-changing moment. Not that I like hate my nose, but I mean, why not make it look snatched? One thing I'm kind of noticing as far as applying my foundation with the brush instead of the sponge is I feel as, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I feel like, I feel like as far as the foundation on my nose, it's looking a little bit patchy now that I'm blending the contour over it. Whereas that doesn't ever happen to me when I apply my makeup with a sponge, because it's just so like one with my skin. And I feel like with the brush, the foundation is kind of more like sitting on top of my skin. So yeah, I'm remembering why I love the sponge the best, but I mean, it'll be fine. It won't be the end of the world. When you're complaining about how your nose contour is blending, you know you live a pretty good life. I'm grabbing the color Glistening for an inner corner highlight. And I'm bringing it a little farther in toward my nose than usual, just to create a little more drama. Applying that as a brow bone highlight as well. And then apply the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlight, which I'm like 99% sure you can't get this highlighter anymore, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you probably have it. It is seriously one of my faves. It's gorgeous. And spraying that setting spray first before applying the highlight is just going to intensify the highlight. The lashes I'm using today are the House of Lashes Iconic Light lashes, one of my favorites. They are just so flattering and pretty. By the way, you guys, something I'm very excited for that is going to be happening this week is I'm doing a really big giveaway on my Instagram. So if you don't follow me, you'll want to make sure that you're following me. My handle is Mary Makeup Artist, and there's a link below to my page, but there's going to be multiple winners and it's going to be really good. I put a lot into this giveaway. It's definitely the most I've ever put into a giveaway. One of the winners will be receiving this palette that I used today. Yeah, they're all three like really good. I think it's going to be 3 winners. It might be 4, but probably 3 winners. All really good prizes. So, and it's going to be really easy to enter. It's not going to be like go follow a million accounts and do all these crazy things. Like, it's going to be really easy and simple to enter. So if you like winning free makeup, then go give me a follow. So this blush I have been super duper into. It's the Milani Coral Cove Powder Blush, and it's one of the ones that looks like a rose. And I've seen these for years, and I've just always wondered if they were any good, because I knew that I loved the Baked Blush in Luminoso, but I just didn't know if like these would be as good. Anyways, I tried it and I love it. It's a matte blush that is just super, super pretty, blends out so easy, and is just gorgeous. And I really like this bright coral color, so I love it. When I do smoky eyes like this, I just can't help but do a nude lip, and I realized that I've only done nude lips on all of the videos that I've done so far, and so I need to do something colorful coming up soon. But today we're going to do another nude lip. So I'm just going to use a liner. First, this is the LA Girl lip liner in Natural Cream, and then I'm going to fill in my lips with it as well. Then I'm grabbing the Maybelline Baddest Beige lipstick and applying that over top. I'm going to spray my face with the Morphe spray one more time. Give it a second to dry, and then just grab my powder brush to kind of lock in the areas where I want it. So basically I do my T-zone. Thank you guys so much for watching this Get Ready with me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. It means so much to me. And also please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I have lots of fun videos planned. And again, remember to go follow me on Instagram since I do have that big giveaway with multiple winners coming up this week. So yes, thank you guys so much. I love you and have an amazing day. Bye.